So now in the year 2024, there are thousands of ways that you can make money with hundreds of different marketing strategies. The principles that I'm going to go through in this video are extremely valuable, and I've gained the knowledge that I have from running multiple businesses for my clients, but also for myself. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring this video, but more on that a little bit later. So like I mentioned, I'm going to talk about a few different ways that you can use these marketing strategies for service-based businesses. Now, some of these principles may go beyond the bounds of service-based businesses, but I'm going to stick to this kind of like framework of service because number one, they cost less capital to actually get going opposed to something as big as like a software as a service type business where you need like tens of thousands of dollars in capital to get the ball rolling. Service-based businesses are typically low cost to start and they have a really high scalable potential. So that's why a lot of people start when they're, trying to become an entrepreneur and they're trying to figure out what they want. They start with a service-based business because they don't cost a lot to get into. And a lot of times the skill set needed to actually perform whatever service you're providing in whatever industry is easier to pick up than like say something as hard as like a doctor or something along those lines. The other thing is service-based businesses are the quickest to actually start and then make your first dollar. And I think that's incredibly important because a lot of people that invest a lot of capital into their business, like let's say if you have a lot of capital and you invested it into like a consumer product business, you're going to be in the red for a very long time before you actually start profiting. Whereas in service-based businesses, whether you're doing it online or you're performing a physical service that we'll get into, you can typically start profiting from day one if done right. But enough of that. I'm going to break down a little bit how you can kind of categorize these service-based businesses that I'll be talking about today. Number one is digital. So like a lot of the stuff on my channel talks about how you can scale an agency. An agency is a great example of a digital service-based business because you're providing a service on your laptop that's not requiring any physical work and you can do that from the comfort of your own home. So like this could be anything like a web design agency, an email marketing agency. You could even be a marketing freelancer. So you're contracted out 1099 work for these bigger companies and you're not a W-2 employee. You could be an employee, but we're going to talk about how you can kind of like, create your own business here, and being an employee is not your own business, you're working for somebody else. Essentially, that is the digital part of it, but the physical part of it, which is another part that a lot of people are more resistant to get into nowadays because making money from your computer is a lot more appealing and it just causes less physical stress on you. But this can be anything like lawn care, pressure washing, house cleaning, different things like that you typically don't need a lot of cost to start up with if done right. So essentially the ultimate marketing formula behind success for either a digital or physical business is essentially the same. It's create a really good offer that is almost irresistible. So like if you go to somebody's door and you offer this, they'd be stupid to say no. Create that offer. Second is find an audience that you can market to. Create your ideal customer avatar and then market to those people. And then three is just make more money and minimize costs. Increase your ROI. Pretty simple. As long as you can keep the formula of creating a great offer, marketing to the right people, and minimizing costs, you're immediately set up for success more than most of the people out there because a lot of people out there don't necessarily optimize for those things. They don't really know where to get started. They just see online, the pressure washing companies, popular and in demand, but they don't know how to start it. They don't know what offer to use. So I'm going to go through some different examples for both digital and physical to get the ball rolling for you. So let's start with the digital side of things. So like if you were to start your own service-based agency, your offer could be something along the lines of, I'm going to guarantee that your website is going to increase traffic by 20% within a month or you do not pay. That's a pretty good offer, especially for starting out. Somebody's willing to take a shot on you and you're charging them like thousands of dollars. They're not going to go with you, but if you guarantee something that minimizes the risk as much as possible, they're more willing to go with you than an agency that doesn't necessarily guarantee that and is charging them a lot more money, even if they have the case studies to do so. So finding your marketable audience for this lead generation agency, let's call it, since you're increasing website traffic, you could find on Upwork, or you could go to a website like Startup, where there's a lot of new companies, new ideas, new concepts, and actually reach out to their business, CEOs, CMOs, whoever it may be, and try to get that business off the ground by increasing website traffic. All in all, it's all about finding your ideal client. What does your ideal client look like? What industry are they in? How many employees do they have? Do they already have a decent website? There's a lot of different, boxes that you need to tick for these potential clients. And once you actually filter it down to a finite amount of business owners, you can then find your marketable audience that you want to reach out to. The third step in order to actually fulfill this formula is to do outreach. How can you do that with a digital agency when you're just getting off the ground? There's a lot of different ways to do it for free. If you have some capital, you could automate email marketing. You could, hire a VA to do cold calling for you. But essentially the outreach methods all stay the same, whether you want to pay for it to try and like make it easier or not. But in this video, we're trying to minimize the cost. So we're going to manually send cold DMs, do cold calling and cold email. It's really good to join a community to try and like have people hold you accountable. So I would join a Discord server or something along those lines that I would try to find people to hold me accountable, whether that's a friend that's working with you or a family member. Try to find somebody to hold you accountable because if you do it on your own, it's going to be extremely hard. I promise you that. Hey guys, taking a really quick break in this video to talk to you about my first ever channel sponsor sponsor that I'm very excited about, Magic Mind. Magic Mind is the world's first performance-enhancing mental shot that you can take every single morning. It's made with real ingredients like vitamin D3, vitamin C, lion's mane mushrooms, and honestly a ton of stuff I can't really pronounce. All I know is that ever since I've started taking these Magic Mind shots, I've genuinely seen a difference not only in my focus, but also in my stress levels and my post-workout recovery. I believe that's due to the different vitamins and compounds put into the shot, but honestly that's above my pay grade. Okay, so here's how it works. It's a daily wellness shot. So essentially you can take this with your morning coffee. You can take this alone. You can take it with your breakfast. The reason why I'm sponsoring with Magic Mind is because I've tried a couple of different brands for like performance enhancing, mind focusing brands, and haven't noticed a thing. When Magic Mind sent me a sample pack, I tried for 10 days and it actually works. So I noticed a difference in my performance. I've actually got ADD. So for me in high school, I used to take, medication. Now I don't anymore. And I struggle with the focus. So this has really helped me kind of like laser in on those days where I really need to get into a flow state. So it's as simple as this. It's just maybe 1-2 swigs. Tastes kind of like mango to me. I can't do it all in one. And there you go, it's empty. It's really good. If you're intimidated by the green, don't be, because it actually tastes really good. So if you want to try a sample pack, again, I never really do stuff like this, and I wouldn't sponsor a company I absolutely do not believe in, and I really believe in Magic Mind and the difference that it can make. So if you want your own pack, there's gonna be a link in the description below. Thank you, Magic Mind, for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. So cold email, I have a ton of videos on, so just go back and watch some of my videos on how to write the perfect cold email script. That kind of goes in line with cold DMs. I also have some videos on cold DMs, and there are also tons of videos online on how to do cold calling. Essentially, you're pitching them your framework. If you're cold calling somebody, it's really the same thing as cold emailing. You're just wording it differently, and it's different because you actually have to talk to somebody, whereas in a cold email, you're not talking to them quite yet. So you have your offer of guaranteeing traffic. You have your marketable audience of different business owners, under these different filters, and then you have your outreach methods. If you can market that way, if that is your business formula and you actually stick to a consistent routine, you're going to get clients. That's just how this works. I heard this thing recently that somebody who was starting their business actually wanted to get rejected 100 times a day. That was their goal, because if they got rejected 100 times a day, that means they're reaching and talking to 100 people a day, which is an awesome goal. And in those 100 people, you're bound to have 3, 4, 5 people that want your business out of those 100 people. Let's move on to physical. Your offer. Let's call it, you want to offer 50% off for the first pressure wash that you do for a driveway and a walkway. Pretty simple. Your marketable audience can be something as simple as finding your local neighborhood, literally the houses next to you, or just in your metro city, and find the houses that have dirty driveways, dirty walkways, dirty sidewalks, and market to them. That's it. How can you market to them? There's literally hundreds of different ways I could go through, but if we're minimizing costs and trying to increase efficiency, I would take a Saturday, take 2 Saturdays a month, create a couple different flyers, order them. If you don't have the capital to do that, you could create them yourself, and I would go door to door, not talking to them, not knocking on the door and actually physically having a talk with them, because it turns out a lot of people don't like that. But a thing I've read recently about pressure washing is you create a door hanger. You can design it through Canva, you can order it through Canva or Vistaprint or Moo. Any of those work just fine. They're also pretty cheap. So if you wanted to order just 100 in the beginning, you could probably order 100 for under $100. But if you wanted to do it at scale, you could do that as well. Again, this all depends on how much capital you actually have to put towards it. But if you just want to make the first 100 yourself, that will take you a few hours. If you have the same script, same offer, you design it yourself. It's pretty simple. You take a Saturday, 3 Saturdays out of the month, go in your local neighborhoods and just put these door hangers on, telling people about your offer. You're bound to get people that want to spend money on you because you're solving a problem that they have. You're making their driveway, walkway cleaner, and you're doing it for a good price because you're a new business. Once you've got your offer figured out, you have your marketable audience, and you have an efficient outreach system, there's literally only one thing to do. Maintain your outreach and upsell your existing clients. When I say upsell, I mean for the digital side, let's say you have a web design agency and you created a website for a new business, you could then offer SEO services or email marketing services for on a monthly basis after that as an upsell. So like if I sold you a website for $2,000 for a one-time payment, then you could pay me monthly to do your SEO and email for an additional $1,500 to $2,000 a month on an ongoing basis. Same for physical. If you have a lawn care business and you mow somebody's lawn, you could offer pressure washing as a side upsell. Let's say you only have a pressure washing company. Well, you do their driveway and their walkway for a great, deal. and it's actually done very well, you could then offer house cleaning on top of that. So you're turning a $200, $300, $400 job into an $1,000 job because you upsell them. What does this do? It increases your average order value, or AOV, and it's valuable because if you want to sell your company one day, which a lot of people start a business with the intent to exit one day, your AOV is incredibly important, and these companies that want to buy you out look at your average order value. If it's smaller than the competition, it's harder to get bought out, but if you have a great AOV, it's a really good asset to have for your business. That's essentially it. Find an offer that people cannot resist, find a marketable audience that's willing to take on your services, and then outreach in an efficient method that minimizes costs and increases the probability that somebody opens your email, answers your phone call, or responds to your cold DM. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around. If you watched the end of this video, again, thank you for our sponsor, Magic Mind. There's an affiliate link down below for you guys. If you enjoyed it, thank you so much. Go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.